Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Fluent Speaking Podcast. I'm Emma.
And I'm Alex.
We are so happy you are here with us today. If you enjoy our episodes, please subscribe our channel.
Okay, Emma, I have to say, today's topic is one I have been looking forward to for a long time.
Me too. Today we are talking about artificial intelligence, or as most people call it, AI. How to talk about it in English, how to understand it when you hear it in conversations, and how to use the vocabulary confidently, whether you are at work, at school, or just chatting with friends.
And here's the thing, AI is everywhere right now. It's in the news every single day. People talk about it at the dinner table. Employers ask about it in job interviews. Teachers bring it up in classrooms. So being able to talk about AI in English is genuinely one of the most useful skills you can have right now.
Absolutely. And you do not need to be a technology expert to join these conversations. Today, we're going to keep everything clear, simple, and natural, the way we always do here on Fluent Speaking Podcast. We'll explain vocabulary, share examples, do some role plays, and of course, we'll share our own thoughts about AI too.
Let's start with the basics. Emma, how would you explain what artificial intelligence actually is in simple English?
Great place to start. Artificial intelligence, or AI, refers to computer systems that can do things that normally require human thinking. Things like understanding language, recognizing images, making decisions, or solving problems. The word artificial means made by people, not natural, and intelligence means the ability to learn and think. So together, artificial intelligence means a machine that can think and learn, at least in some ways.
And a really useful phrase here is machine learning. Machine learning is a type of AI where a computer learns from large amounts of data, kind of like how a child learns by seeing and experiencing lots of things. The more data the machine sees, the better it gets at its job.
Right. For example, if you show a machine learning system thousands and thousands of photos of cats and dogs, eventually it learns to tell the difference. It figures out the patterns on its own. That's machine learning in action.
Another phrase you hear a lot is algorithm. An algorithm is basically a set of rules or instructions that a computer follows to solve a problem or make a decision. Think of it like a recipe. A recipe tells you step by step how to make a dish. An algorithm tells a computer step by step how to do something.
So when people say the algorithm showed me this video, they mean the set of rules the platform used decided that video was right for you, based on what you have watched before, what you liked, how long you watched. The algorithm learned your habits.
And then there is a phrase that has become incredibly common, generative AI. Generative AI refers to AI systems that can create new content, text, images, music, videos, code. The word generative comes from generate, which means to produce or create. So generative AI is AI that generates, that creates things.
ChatGPT is probably the most well-known example right now. It is a generative AI tool that can have conversations, write essays, answer questions, summarize documents, and much more. When people say, "I used AI to write this," they usually mean they used a generative AI tool.
Let's do our first role play. This is a conversation between two colleagues at work, maybe during a lunch break.
Hey, Alex, did you hear what the team said in the meeting this morning about using AI tools to speed up our reports?
Yeah, I caught part of it. Honestly, I'm not sure how I feel about it. I mean, I understand the idea, but I'm a little worried that if AI writes everything, it won't sound like us anymore.
That's a fair point. I think the way most people use it is not to replace their writing completely, but to help them get started. Like, you give the AI a few ideas and it helps you organize them. Then you still edit and make it your own.
Oh, that's interesting. So it's more like a tool to assist you, not replace you.
Exactly. That's actually one of the big discussions right now in a lot of industries. How do we use AI as a tool to help humans rather than replace them?
I've been hearing the phrase AI-assisted a lot lately, like AI-assisted design, AI-assisted writing. Is that what that means?
Yes, exactly. AI assisted means the AI is helping. It's part of the process, but a human is still in charge. The human still makes the final decisions.
Okay, stepping out of the role play now. Did you notice some really useful phrases there? AI-assisted, replace, assist, industries. These are words that come up constantly in conversations about AI. Let's look at a few more important vocabulary words.
The first word is automation. Automation means using machines or technology to do tasks that humans used to do, often tasks that are repetitive or time-consuming. For example, many factories have automated their production lines. Robots now do jobs that people used to do by hand.
And automation is one of the big reasons people talk about AI with a mix of excitement and worry. On one hand, automation can make things faster, cheaper, and more efficient. On the other hand, some people worry that automation will take away jobs.
And that leads us to a phrase you hear a lot, disruption. In the context of AI, disruption means that AI is changing industries in a big way. It is shaking things up. For example, you might hear AI is disrupting the creative industry, which means AI is changing how creative work is done in a major way.
The word disruptive can be positive or negative depending on the situation. A disruptive technology is one that changes everything. Like the smartphone changed everything. It disrupted the way we communicate, shop, travel, and entertain ourselves.
Another key word is data. Data simply means information. In the world of AI, data is everything because AI systems learn from data. The more data they have, the more they can learn. When companies talk about training AI, they mean feeding it huge amounts of data so it can learn patterns and improve.
And connected to data is the word privacy. Privacy is the right to keep your personal information to yourself, not sharing it with others without your permission. One of the biggest concerns people have about AI is privacy. If AI systems are collecting and using our data, what happens to that information? Who can see it? How is it being used?
That is a real and important concern, and it is one of the reasons you hear phrases like data privacy and data protection in AI conversations so often. Let me do a quick role play with a different setting, this time a student talking to a teacher. Excuse me, I wanted to ask you something about our assignment. Is it okay if I use AI to help with my essay?
That's a great question, and I appreciate you asking. What kind of help were you thinking of using it for?
I was thinking of using it to help me organize my ideas. Like, I have a lot of thoughts, but I'm not sure how to structure them clearly.
I think using AI as a brainstorming tool is generally fine. The key thing I want to see is your thinking, your argument, your voice. As long as the final ideas and the writing are genuinely yours, using AI to help plan and organize can actually be a useful skill to develop.
Thank you. What about using it to check my grammar at the end?
That is also fine. That is not so different from using a spell checker. The important thing is that you understand your own work, not just that it looks correct on the surface.
I really appreciate that. It's interesting because everyone seems to have different rules about AI right now.
That is true, and honestly, the rules are still being worked out. Society is figuring out together how we want to use these tools responsibly.
Stepping out of that role play now, did you notice the word responsibly? That is such an important word in AI conversations right now. Using AI responsibly means thinking carefully about the effects of AI, not just using it because you can, but thinking about whether you should and how.
And a phrase connected to that is ethical AI. Ethical means related to right and wrong, to moral values. Ethical AI is the idea that AI should be developed and used in ways that are fair, honest, and beneficial to people, not harmful or biased.
Bias is another really important word. Bias in AI means the AI system treats some people or groups unfairly because of flaws in the data it was trained on. For example, if an AI was trained mostly on data from one type of person, it might not work as well for other types of people. That is a bias problem.
And addressing bias, fixing these unfair patterns, is one of the biggest challenges in AI research right now. Researchers work hard to make AI systems more fair and accurate for everyone.
Let's look at a few more vocabulary words that you will hear in everyday AI conversations. The first one is chatbot. A chatbot is an AI program that can have text conversations with you. Many websites have a chatbot that pops up and says, "Hi, how can I help you today?" That little conversation window, that is a chatbot.
Then there's the phrase natural language processing, or NLP. This sounds technical, but the idea is simple. Natural language just means the way humans actually speak and write, as opposed to computer code. So natural language processing means the ability of an AI to understand and use human language. When you type a question and an AI understands what you mean, that is natural language processing at work.
And then there's a word you hear in big business and technology discussions: neural network. A neural network is a type of AI system that is loosely inspired by the way the human brain works. Just like our brains have billions of connected cells called neurons, a neural network has many connected mathematical units that work together to process information and make decisions.
You do not need to understand the technical details to use this word in conversation. You just need to know that a neural network is the structure behind many modern AI systems, including the ones that recognize your face to unlock your phone, or the ones that recommend your next song or show.
Let's do one more role play. A casual conversation between friends talking about AI in everyday life. "Hey, Alex. Have you been using any of those AI tools everyone keeps talking about?"
Actually, yes. I've been using one to help me plan my week. I just describe what I need to get done, and it helps me break it into smaller tasks and figure out what order to do things in.
Oh, that's interesting. I've been using one for something completely different. I ask it questions when I'm curious about something. Like last week, I was reading about a topic I didn't understand, and I just asked the AI to explain it in simple terms. It was really helpful.
That's one of the things I genuinely like about it. It's patient. It doesn't get frustrated when you ask the same thing 5 different ways.
Exactly. And you can ask follow-up questions. I asked it to explain something. Then I said, "Can you give me an example?" And then, "Can you make that even simpler?" And it just kept going.
I do think about the privacy side of things, though. Like, what happens to the questions I ask? Is that information stored somewhere?
That is such a good point. I actually looked into it, and most of these tools have privacy policies that explain how they use your data. But I agree, it is worth paying attention to. You would not want to share anything too personal or sensitive with an AI tool without knowing what happens to that information.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think the key is being aware, not avoiding these tools completely, but understanding how they work and using them wisely.
Using them wisely. I love that phrase. That brings us back to what we said earlier about using AI responsibly. Awareness is the first step.
Let's talk about some of the most common opinions people share about AI, because when you have these conversations in English, it really helps to be able to express your own view clearly. Emma, what are some phrases for sharing an opinion about AI?
Great point. Some useful phrases are, "I think AI is incredibly useful because," or
In my opinion, the biggest risk of AI is, or what I find most interesting about AI is, or I'm a little concerned about AI because these are all natural conversational ways to share your view.
And for agreeing with someone's opinion, you can say, "That's exactly how I feel," or "I completely agree with that," or "You make a really good point." And for politely disagreeing, "I see what you mean, but I think," or "That's interesting. I look at it a bit differently, though."
Being able to disagree politely in English is such a valuable skill, not just for AI conversations, but for all kinds of discussions. You can have different opinions from someone and still have a warm, respectful conversation. Now, one thing that comes up a lot in AI conversations is the difference between narrow AI and general AI. Let me explain these simply because you will definitely hear them. Narrow AI, sometimes called weak AI, refers to AI systems that are very good at one specific thing. For example, the AI that recommends movies on a streaming platform is narrow AI. It is excellent at that one task, but it cannot do anything else. It cannot cook, drive a car, or have a conversation. It only does the one job it was designed for.
And most of the AI we interact with today is narrow AI. The voice assistant on your phone, the spam filter on your email, the face recognition on your camera, all of these are narrow AI systems. They each do one thing very well.
General AI, sometimes called artificial general intelligence or AGI, is a much bigger idea. It refers to an AI system that could do anything a human can do, learn any skill, solve any problem, think flexibly across all kinds of situations. We do not have true general AI yet. It is still something researchers are working toward and debating whether it is even possible.
And that debate is fascinating. Some scientists and technology leaders believe general AI is coming, maybe within decades. Others believe it is much further away, or that certain human qualities like creativity, empathy, and wisdom cannot truly be replicated by a machine.
That's actually one of the most interesting philosophical questions around AI. What makes human intelligence unique? What can machines learn to do, and what will always be distinctly human? There are no easy answers, but they are wonderful questions to think about and discuss.
And here's a phrase connected to that whole discussion, the singularity. The singularity is a theoretical point in the future when AI becomes smarter than humans in every way. It's a concept from science fiction that some researchers take very seriously. Others think it is far too speculative to worry about now.
Whether you think the singularity is real or not, it is a word you will hear in conversations about AI and the future. And now you know what it means. Another phrase worth knowing is large language model, or LLM. A large language model is a type of AI that has been trained on enormous amounts of text, books, websites, articles, conversations, and has learned to understand and generate human language at a very high level. ChatGPT is built on a large language model, so are many other AI writing and conversation tools. And nuance. Nuance means the small, subtle differences in meaning or tone that make communication rich and complex. When someone says, "That is a nuanced answer," they mean the answer is thoughtful and takes into account many different angles, not just a simple yes or no.
AI is getting better at nuance, but most researchers agree that humans still have an edge when it comes to truly understanding context, culture, and emotion. That is one of the reasons human communication, like the kind we practice here on this podcast, will always matter. Let's do a quick vocabulary review. Today we covered a lot of words. Let me list them, and Emma can give a short, simple definition for each one. Artificial intelligence.
Computer systems that can think, learn, and solve problems like humans.
Machine learning.
A type of AI that learns from large amounts of data.
Algorithm.
A set of step-by-step rules a computer follows to solve a problem.
Generative AI.
AI that can create new content like text, images, or music.
Automation.
Using technology to do tasks that humans used to do.
Disruption.
A major change to an industry caused by new technology.
Data.
Information, especially large amounts used to train AI systems.
Privacy.
The right to keep your personal information safe and protected.
Bias.
When an AI system treats people unfairly because of flawed training data.
Ethical AI.
AI that is developed and used in ways that are fair and beneficial to people.
Chatbot.
An AI program designed to have text conversations with users.
Natural language processing.
The ability of AI to understand and use human language naturally.
Neural network.
An AI structure loosely inspired by the way the human brain works.
That is a strong vocabulary list, and the beautiful thing is, once you know these words, you can join so many conversations that might have felt confusing before.
And knowing the vocabulary is one thing, but using it naturally is another. So here is a challenge for you. This week, try to bring one of these words into a real conversation. Maybe you talk to a friend about a chatbot you used. Maybe you mention something you read about AI and automation. Even using one new word in a real situation makes it stick so much better than just memorizing it.
That is exactly right. Language is built through use, not just through study, and that is something we believe deeply here on Fluent Speaking Podcast. The more you practice using English in real situations, the more naturally it comes.
Before we get to our question of the day, I want to share one final thought about AI and English learning specifically. Because if you think about it, AI tools can actually be incredibly useful for language learners. You can use them to practice writing, to get feedback on your sentences, to look up words in context, to have simple conversations in English any time of day.
They're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and they never get impatient. For someone who is shy about making mistakes, which is so many language learners, that can really lower the pressure.
Of course, talking to real people, like we do here, like you do with your friends and colleagues, is still the most important practice. But AI tools can be a great addition to your English learning toolkit.
Now, question of the day. Today's question is, what is your opinion about artificial intelligence? Do you think it is more exciting or more worrying, and why?
Write your answer in the comments using one of these phrases. I think AI is exciting because, or I'm a little worried about AI because, or in my opinion, the best thing about AI is... There is no wrong answer. We want to hear what you actually think.
We read every single comment and we genuinely love seeing your thoughts. Your perspective matters and it makes our community richer and more interesting.
If you enjoyed today's episode, please give it a like and share it with someone who is also learning English. And subscribe if you haven't already. We have so many more interesting conversations coming your way.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us today. Keep learning, keep speaking, and keep growing.
We will see you in the next episode. Bye for now.
Take care, everyone. And remember, the world is changing fast, and you are keeping up with it. That's something to feel proud of.